Well, I'm back to Fog Racing. We are here with the first race of the season. What a race it was, guys. Lewis Hamilton wins for Verstappen, Bottas, Norris, Perez, Leclerc, Ricciardo, Sainz, Tsunoda, Stroll, Raikkonen, Giovinazzi, Ocon, Russell, Aston Martin, Vettel, Schumacher, Gasly, Latifi, who both kind of just retired at the end, but they're still classified. Then we had Alonso, but we had brake duct failure, and then we had Mazepin who spun. Anyway, but let's just kick off, right? It was a great opening race. It set the tone for the season. Hopefully we do get Mercedes versus Red Bull, but let's kick off at the top and we'll work our way down. Like I think the fact Hamilton won this, great from him. You know, the tyre management there. Not many drivers on the grid could do it, and could any of them done it to the degree he done it here. They actually keep Max behind. But at the same time, you've got to look at the elephant in the room. Max overtakes him. I mean, I thought it was perfectly fine with it because he's past him. He's way past him before he runs wide, which Mercedes were doing the entire race, and it's a joke. Like Max said himself, why couldn't they just let him stay ahead and then he could have got the fight? I mean, I guess that's a Red Bull problem, right? But Bottas and Hamilton were using that running wide shit every for the whole race. Then as soon as Max's engineer tells him, "Oh, why don't we start using it until we get told not to?" Hamilton gets like a radio message like 2 laps later. "Oh, you can't stop doing that, or else we'll get a penalty." Despite the fact he's been abusing it the entire race. Oh, but until fucking it's alright for Mercedes to use it, but not for Red Bull. I mean, obviously there would have been other teams using it, but the point is here, in terms of the top battle, Max wasn't using it, and as soon as he goes to use it, they're like, "No." I mean, to me, there was nothing wrong with the move. To me, there was moves like that happening the whole race. You know, what example? Oh, was it Sainz and a McLaren? It was like Vettel and Alonso. You know, Sainz as well. I mean, there was loads of other examples in that race where people were running wide to complete the move, and that was further in. To me, it's a joke. Like, it's definitely put a sour note, in my opinion, on this race. Like, it's not Hamilton's fault, but I mean, it's just like, what are they doing? You know, I mean, I'm not really a fan of either guy, but I'd probably rather Max win because everyone's sick of Mercedes fucking dominance, you know. And I just feel like there's no consistency there. Why not have it? You have 3 strikes and then you're out. Like what is worse, Hamilton doing that for like 30 laps, gaining a clear advantage for 30 laps, or Max overtaking him? You know, despite the fact it already overtook him, so essentially it was just Max doing what a 1/30th of what Hamilton's done the entire race. You know, because the move he was fucking past him. Anyone who tries to disagree with that, it's retarded. But anyway, Hamilton wins for Verstappen. Once Verstappen let him back through, I mean, it was hot. I mean, once he's let him through, he's got dirt, he's got marbles and all in the tyres from letting him through, so that was pish for him. So yeah, that's the top 2 covered here. Hamilton beats Verstappen. Hopefully it's the first of many battles. Both did a 2-stopper. I think the Red Bull was the right way to go, but I think Red Bull have been shafted. Anyway, we move on to Bottas. The quicker this guy's out of Mercedes seat, the better. Like, I get it. Some people argue, "Oh, but he got a slow stop." Aye, 8 seconds worth, right? Okay, 8 seconds worth. Fucking whoop-de-doo, man. Cry me a river. Well, I mean, he's talking to Ted yesterday, saying about, "Oh, I've set the car up for the race." So, well, mate, what did you do this race? You did hee-haw. Like, let's be real. Even if he didn't have that 8-second pit stop, or whatever, he would have been nowhere near the top 2. That's just the way the cookie crumbles. You know? That's it. Good night, we move on. He finishes third. In 4th place, Lando Norris. Good drive from him. Pretty quiet race. Once he overtook Leclerc after the initial safety car, didn't really look back and was relatively easy. Perez, though, up and down race, but I feel like he'll be happy with that, to be honest, because like I said, I mean, the midfield is definitely a lot closer to the top teams now. And he did do a free stop, which you've got to factor in, and the fact he's battling his way through traffic. So I think to actually finish 52 seconds off the top 2 is not bad. in my opinion, considering the fact his car stopped on the formation lap. He started in the pit lane and had to make his way up through this entire field. I mean, if this was Albon in this Red Bull, I mean, what would it have been? Would they have got points? That would be questionable, but yeah, I think it was a decent enough drive for Perez. Not, I mean, I was expecting minimum fourth, but I guess given the circumstances, it's not the worst results in the world. Meanwhile, we move on to Charles Leclerc. Good drive in the Ferrari. Not as quick as Norris. I do feel like McLaren is quicker than the Ferrari, and so is the AlphaTauri, to be honest. But yeah, Leclerc, decent drive. Ricardo, nowhere near as good as Norris today. Kind of just in no man's land, but getting used to the team. Sainz kind of get shafted. He got kept it a lot longer at the first set of pit stops. We kind of just shafted everyone. Well, everyone but him. No, him but everyone. Woo! Then with Tsunoda, again, kind of just dropped to the back, but made his way up to get some decent enough points on his debut. Stroll destroyed Vettel today. We're going to get to Vettel, right? We're going to get to him. Kimi, Giovinazzi, a decent enough drive. But yeah, there wasn't retirements from any of the top teams, so it was going to be hard for those two to sneak a point or two. But yeah, the Alfa Romeo looks definitely like an improvement. We move on. We'll do the next two, even though I know Vettel's below Russell. But Ocon and Vettel, right? The Alpine's not good. Let's just get that out the road. Alonso did his best, but you could tell once he got that break through the car, he just went backwards. Felt sorry for the guy, because it looked like he would have finished about behind Sainz. Maybe running about Stroll, that area. But I guess it's the way the cookie crumbles. But yeah, back to Ocon. Kind of a nothing race. But he overtakes Vettel, right? Fair and square. He's went in the exact same line in the first corner that he's went the whole way down the straight. Vettel just slots in behind him, locks up the brakes and hits him, and blames Ocon. Vettel does this every time he's in a collision. He rushes the point and the blame everyone else. How about you just fucking accept the blame, mate? You're done. You're pish. I mean, his best moments this race was the battle with Alonso and Sainz, and the fucking I actually thought initially, he's actually done pretty well there to get overtake Alonso. But when you know Alonso was suffering with fucking brake problems, no wonder he was getting back through when Alonso was fucking going wide into every corner. But yeah, I mean, awful from Vettel, awful first race, like, and actually blaming Ocon. That is pathetic in my opinion. But we move on to Mick Schumacher. We'll do him and Mazepin at the same time. Yeah, not the worst race. I mean, the Haas is awful, so for the beat Gasly and Latifi will take it, and Alonso and Mazepin, despite the fact there wasn't really, I mean, legitimate, so to speak. But yeah, 16th, I mean, it's probably his best Haas can ask for without any more retirements. But yeah, he had a spin very similar after Mazepin's spin, but the only talk about Mazepin spin, because oh brother, we say no to Mazepin, we won't ever say that guy's name. Grow up, man. Bunch of fucking snowflakes, right? That's the bottom line. There's fucking hell, man. The way people get on over that incident. He's apologised, but no one even knows what's going on. They've just jumped down the guy's throat, let nobody explain what. But that's the current age we live in. But Mazepin, I'd say he's shit. I'm not going to say he's good. But yeah, him and Schumacher, not the greatest race, being two very similar spins, but Mazepin's was in the wall. Gasly, unlucky, damaged his wing right at the start, flew off, couldn't really do much for there. And Latifi didn't really do much either. So yeah, that is your Bahrain Grand Prix race review, guys. I'd say I'd go as far as say this was a fucking screw job. I don't get why Mercedes allowed to use that runoff, and then as soon as Max uses it, oh, you can't use it. And then at the end, when I'd say it was a very fair move there on Hamilton. Oh, they're like, oh, you can't be doing that, big man. Yeah, don't really see what the fucking problem was there. But anyway, till next time, peace.